Hi everyone, welcome back to the next diecast. In today's video, I'll be unboxing and reviewing these 1/25th scale 2004 Chevy SSRs made by Maisto. So my parents got me this set from eBay for Christmas for around $40 in total, so it averages out to about $4 per car. And yeah, there are 4 of the SSRs in this set here. I believe this was probably sold originally for maybe like a store to buy, because I know some stores that sell die-cast cars, they'll get, 1/24th or 1/25th scale cars in kind of these shipment boxes like this, and they'll kind of have the box open with the cars inside, and you can, buy like one of the cars or all 4. It looks like maybe this is from like the mid to late 2000s based off how the box looks and everything. It would be at least from 2004, because that's when Maisto released these particular models. So here's the box. As you can see here, it is in red. Then you have the giant Maisto, or Maisto depending on how you want to say it, logo right here, die-cast collection. You have a warning right there, and the name of what's inside on the front there with the code name, I guess, for the car. Maisto uses these numbers to differentiate between their different models that they sell. On the sides, you just have kind of the same inscription and everything. You got Maisto back there. Might be a copyright date. Distributed by OK Toys, Inc., Los Angeles, California. I may have to look that up and see. Right is reserved to effect changes in colors and technical details. 2004 copyright date. Usually the copyright date on Maisto boxes corresponds to when the models were actually made. So these were probably made in 2004. I didn't notice that back there before. And on the bottom of the box, it's what you would usually see on the bottoms of regular kind of Maisto boxes. You have all the different licensees and everything. I assume Maisto sold similar sets for every one of their 1/24th or 1/25th scale cars back in the day. I couldn't really find that much information about this specific set. I've never seen this set sold before on eBay or anywhere for that matter, and I haven't seen it since. So it might be kind of a rare set for all I know. I don't really know. But again, on the bottom, there's all the licensees and everything, and all like the fine print stuff. So we'll go ahead and get this box opened up here, see what the SSRs look like inside. I already took off the tape on the front here. Just got to lift up this flap. Oh, look at that. That's really cool. So there's how the SSRs are packed in there. You have kind of this plastic component here, and each of the cars kind of rests inside. This is just left over from the packaging. Yeah, I do have 2 yellow versions in here, which I did know I was going to get. I'm probably going to make one into that. I guess it was the Daytona 500 pace car. There was a yellow Chevy SSR pace car. It wasn't for the Indy 500. That one was blue. I'll have to look it up, but one of these will be different, or I'll make it like custom or something, and I'll keep the other one kind of just stock, I suppose. But here's all 4 of the models in here in 1/25th scale. Very cool. The 1/25th scale Chevy SSRs from Maisto were kind of hard to find, and let alone, finding this whole set here. This was just awesome. But we have 2 yellows, a red, and then a silver. So we'll get each one out and kind of take a closer look at them. There's the one yellow version right there. Super cool. You got the chrome wheels and everything. All these do have opening doors and opening hoods, by the way. Then here's the red version. And these all were colors that were offered on the real 2004 cars. They also had, I think, black and purple versions. I have a 1/18th scale version of the purple version that Maisto made. You do have the opening hoods, of course, on there as well. Here's that silver. Looks super cool. This is actually a metallic silver, too. Look at that. It really sparkles. That's awesome. Nice interior detailing. License plates, too. And then here's the other yellow version. All right, we'll take a closer look. All right, let's take a closer look at these Chevy SSRs. So as you see, 4 of them came in that set there. They are in 1/25th scale as opposed to 1/24th scale. Not really sure why that is. I mean, these are kind of larger vehicles in real life, so I suspect that that's why Maisto scaled them down just a tiny bit. I think that the details on these line up, I think, pretty well with other similarly scaled models that Maisto was making during the same time. A 1/18 scale version of these cars, or of these trucks, I should say, was made also by Maisto. That one came in yellow, red, and purple. Maisto also did make a 1/25th scale version of the 04 version in purple. And they also did models of the concept version in both 1/25th scale and 1/18 scale. And the concept version is, I think, pretty different from the production version. The overall look and everything is pretty similar, aside from the wheels and a little bit of, minor details on the exteriors. Like the mirrors on the concept are actually mounted to the top of the windshield instead of being on the doors like the production versions that you see here. And I think, and of course, the interior and the engines are different on the cars as well. But I think as a whole, these models are pretty well detailed. So we'll kind of take a closer look at the details. I think in the fronts of all the models, Maisto does do a good job with those details. You have kind of nice separately cast headlights, and then you have a nice kind of separately cast chrome band that goes between the headlights that kind of spans the whole front end of the truck. And then you have the separately cast chrome plastic Chevrolet inscription that kind of borders the edge of the hood here. And then you have these Chevrolet bow tie badges in front of those as well. Now the grille detailing could be a slight bit better. This shouldn't all be yellow. You can see that they're all kind of body colored. These slats that go through the grille should be body colored, so they're fine, but there is a mesh grille kind of behind that, as you see here. The 1/18 scale version will have the correctly, black colored grille and the body colored bands, but on the 1/25th scale versions, I guess to save on some cost, they just painted the whole piece here. I don't even know if it would be considered a piece because it is kind of integrated into the metal. They just paint the whole thing the same color as the body, but not a big deal, I guess. I think the other details do kind of make up for that. Moving along to the sides, all the models do come with the chrome wheels that you would find on the real cars. The SSR came with, I think, two different choices of wheels. You had the same wheel style, but you could either get it in chrome or in kind of painted silver. All the versions of this car that Maisto made in all their different scales come with the chrome wheels, and they are the proper size and shape, I would say, as well. In some versions of these models, you will see branded tires on them. These don't have them, but some will have the Goodyear tires on them. I think the paint quality on these models is very well done. The silver does have the proper kind of sparkly metallic finish, and then you have just the gloss finish for the yellow and the red versions. The piece behind the seats is made of plastic on all the models, and you can see on this yellow version, it did kind of darken a bit, so it does look a little bit different. It doesn't blend in as nice as this version, so keep that in mind for certain colors. The silver, I think, looks the best out of the three different colors in terms of this piece kind of matching the metal portions of the trucks, but I don't think that's a big deal. If you get them kind of mint in box, you probably won't have that problem. The windshields are all framed in metal, which is nice to see, as are the mirrors as well. All made of metal, all very sturdy, which is nice to see. On the backs of the models, you will have the Chevrolet bow tie badge and the SSR inscription, I guess, or badging. It says the SS in silver, and then you have the R in red, as you would see on the real trucks. The taillights are just painted on, but a lot of Maisto models in this scale back then did just have painted on taillights, unfortunately. If Maisto, or Maisto, however you want to say it, were to re-release this casting today, they would definitely put separately cast plastic taillights instead of these painted on taillights. That was kind of an early 2000s, I think, problem with these models. Then of course you have the license plates on all four of them as well. Very cool touch. And for opening features, all of them do have opening doors and opening hoods. So we'll take a look at the silver one up close. The engine's kind of the same as the 1/18 scale version, where you have kind of one single plastic piece, but there is a fair bit of depth and dimension to it. You have the SSR badging in kind of this main block up here in silver and red, and then you have kind of all this other black and silver detailing going around that as well. There is some depth to it, but not a whole lot. And for 1/25th scale models, I think the engine is pretty well detailed. Now, if you get a model of the concept version, the engine will look entirely different. and that'll be kind of a more flat plastic piece, because I don't know if the engine was fully, I think, produced for the concept version or not, but I think for these versions, the engine is pretty well done. The interior detailing, I would say, is decently done for 1/25th scale models. I do like how in the center consoles here, you do have the paint that matches the body color. So in the red, you'll have the red version, or you'll have the red console. Yellow, you'll have the yellow one. And then in the silver, you'll have, of course, the silver one. Now, the interiors on these models, I would say, are pretty well done for 1/25th scale models. You can see that there's a pretty well-pronounced texturing on both the dashboard and on the steering wheel. You have the nice kind of Chevrolet bow tie badge on the steering wheel, too. Buttons are in there. They're not really painted on or anything, but at least they are kind of molded in the right shapes that you would see on the real trucks. And then you have that nice kind of silver detailing going across the bottom portion of the dashboard as well. And you do have separately cast gauges kind of in front of the shifter there. The shifters do look a bit cheap, as well as the surrounding buttons, but again, this is a 1/25th scale model we're talking about, so fine detailing won't be too great in that sense. But if you want, I guess, better detailing, then the 1/18th scale version does have kind of that more fine detailing. But I think for 1/25th scale models, they really did do a good job with them. And then you have the nice kind of gauge clusters back there, too. You do have some nice detailing on the door panels. They are all black. There should be some chrome and silver components on these, but I think what they have on here does look just fine for a 1/25th scale model. You have a nice kind of like leather pattern going across the black portion, or across the whole door panel, I should say, as well. So I think they did a good job in that sense. These seats are also very well done, have a nice kind of leather pattern to them. And they should have some, I think it's like the SSR inscriptions in kind of the centers beneath the headrest, but you don't see that on here. The 1/18th scale version does have that, but at least they did do the proper, shape and texture for the seats. I will give them that. But I think that's that for the interior detailing. And I still can't pick a favorite color. I think they all kind of have their own unique look to them. I do kind of wish that for this particular set that they did include the purple version or the black version. I think Maisto also made a black version in 1/25th scale. And if not for the production SSR, they did it for the concept version. I know that there was a 1/18th scale concept version with the top down that came in black. They did both the top up and the top down version for the concept. For the production versions that you see here, you're just going to get the top down versions. But I don't think that's a bad thing, because they do look very cool nonetheless. So I was glad to find this set here. It averaged out to about maybe $10 per car. So I'm glad my parents were able to get this set for me. And if you can find a similar set, I would say definitely get it. Or if you can find just the individual models. They're all kind of hard to find now, so eBay would kind of be your best bet for that. So feel free to comment down below with your thoughts on these models here, and maybe what your favorite color is as well. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.